Theresa May signals she could scrap the Tory tax lock. She'll match Labour and freeze VAT, raising the prospect of higher taxes on pay. Also on the programme, the McCanns say they'll never give up hope of finding Madeleine a decade after she vanished. And after one of the greatest heavyweight bouts, Anthony Joshua promises the best is yet to come.
This is ITV News with James Mates.
Good evening. Without actually spelling it out word for word, the Prime Minister has given her clearest signal so far that the Conservatives are preparing to abandon their flagship tax lock pledge. In common with Labour today, Theresa May explicitly ruled out increases to VAT after the election. But there were no such promises about income tax or national insurance from either party. More from our political correspondent, Angus Walker.
Theresa May was touring the TV studios today, campaign catchphrases at the ready. But could she also give any strong and stable commitments on tax?
In relation to specific taxes, we won't be increasing VAT. What I want to do is to ensure that when we do look more widely at the tax system, that what we say on the tax system, we're absolutely clear we can deliver on it for people.
That promise matches Labour's policy not to raise VAT, but it also effectively tears up the Tories' 2015 pledge to freeze taxes, because she couldn't rule out raising income tax or national insurance.
We know that the Chancellor wanted to increase national insurance rates on the self-employed in the last budget and couldn't get it through because of the previous manifesto commitment. I would imagine that something like that will come again, partly because the self-employed pay an awful lot less tax than people who are employees.
A market in South London, hard-working people fearing a post-election tax rise.
We all work like 3 jobs and we struggle to pay rent, we struggle to pay for our car, and it's just going to get worse.
Current economy, it's going to be very, very hard.
Wages have got to go up compared with the taxes to go up.
But a cautious welcome for the promise from the 2 largest political parties to keep VAT where it is.
And it affects me as well when I buy my things, you know, VAT. So we have to put it on to the customers, which, you know, isn't very good.
Labour today also promising to end the cap on public sector pay.
We're the party that wants low taxes for low and medium earners. The Conservative Party are the party that wants low taxes for the high earners. We look at things the other way round.
So promises, promises. If she keeps her word, Theresa May would be the first Conservative Prime Minister not to raise VAT since the 70s.
And Angus, she was also asked about what the Tories plan to do about this so-called triple lock on pensions.
Yeah, it's increasingly clear that Theresa May is trying to shake off the fiscal shackles that she's inherited from her predecessor. Asked today whether she would keep the pensions triple lock. This is the policy where pensions go up by 2.5%, wages or inflation, whichever is higher. She could not give an assurance on that, but what she did say was that pensions would continue to go up under a Conservative government, but she just couldn't say by how much.
OK, Angus, thanks very much indeed. Almost a decade after their daughter Madeleine disappeared, Gerry and Kate McCann have spoken of their hope that she may one day be found. She was 3 when she vanished from their holiday apartment in Portugal. Juliet Bremner has our report.
This is Madeleine McCann as her parents remember her, smiling on that fateful family holiday 10 years ago.
Every day is another day without Madeleine. I think it's just that number, it's that 10-year mark which makes it more significant, I think, because it's a reminder of how much time has gone by.
We don't tend to go back to the time because it's so draining, but inevitably on the anniversaries and on our birthday, they are by far the hardest days, by far.
The Metropolitan Police reopened the case 5 years ago after a long campaign by the McCanns. They confirmed this week there's still one important new line of inquiry.
I can't emphasise enough just what a massive burden that's lifted from us and those around us, and also knowing that the lines of investigation are being prosecuted.
Madeleine disappeared from this apartment in Praia da Luz. Despite an initial botched Portuguese inquiry and lack of any definitive leads, her parents remain convinced she is alive.
No parent's going to give up on their child unless they know for certain their child's dead, and that we just don't have any evidence. So
my
you've got
hope
to...
of Madeleine being out there is no less than it was almost 10 years ago. I mean, apart from those first 48 hours, nothing actually has changed since then. I mean, I think the difficult thing has always been, how will we find her?
It would have been her 14th birthday next month. Instead, the hunt for Madeleine McCann continues. Juliet Bremner, ITV News.
The woman who was shot by armed officers during a raid against terrorism suspects in northwest London has been arrested. She was injured on Thursday and had been treated in hospital. As she was discharged today, she was immediately arrested on suspicion of terrorism. The best is yet to come, the words of heavyweight boxing champion Anthony Joshua today, just hours after he claimed the biggest victory of his career so far against Vladimir Klitschko. And he did it in style in front of 90,000 spectators at Wembley. He spoke to our sports reporter, Amy Lewis.
Anthony Joshua laughs a lot, but then today he does have plenty to smile about. He's just produced the performance of his career in one of the greatest British fights of all time. How did last night rank as an achievement for you in your career?
That fight was about guts, pride, glory, entertainment, so it ticked all those boxes. So I'm happy I won in that sense, but on the other side of the field, I know when it comes to skinning another cat, I have to prepare in a different way. So even though I want to celebrate and enjoy it, I want to get back to training.
The fight was given a blockbuster build-up and it lived up to the hype. Joshua, who was used to getting an early knockout, wasted little time getting going. Vladimir Klitschko, who dominated the division for a decade, was unsettled and unsteady. But he soon recovered and reacted.
And Joshua is down now!
Joshua was looking like he'd taken on too much too soon. But then, with just a round to go, he exploded into life. 90,000 fans were at Wembley watching, but his mum Yetta was at home because he thinks she'll be a distraction.
If that was like my son or my daughter or whatnot, or my family member, I think I'd end up jumping in the ring for them. Because it's intense. When you know someone who's fighting, it's completely different to just watching someone who you support.
Joshua has shown the world what his mum already knew, why he's tipped to be one of the greats. Amy Lewis, ITV News.
Football, and Chelsea took another step towards the Premier League title with victory at Everton this afternoon. This stunning strike from Pedro helped them to a 3-0 win at Goodison Park to keep them 4 points clear at the top. Tottenham remained just behind them in second place after beating Arsenal to win the North London derby. Dele Alli got their first goal in a 2-0 win. That's it for now. I'm back at 10 with the latest. Please join us then. Goodbye.